What's in your head? Talk to me.
The NBA draft. The NBA draft is the biggest story to me, and it's not because of the players that were drafted. I couldn't care less about where they're going, who picked who, where they're from, anything. I'm talking about the coverage itself. I am tired of watching a player walk to the stage with a hat on from a team he was just traded from. The bottom scroll says that the player is going to team X, but he's really going to team Y. So what is the point? And if you were sort of like a president in the league, or if you are ESPN, or if you're Adam Silver, why are you not changing this already? Why are you allowing this confusion to happen? Because this year the draft went to 2 days instead of the 1 day. So I'm just trying to make sense of what is the point of this TV product if it's just an awful, awful watch.
Well, you're just grumpy about it. I mean, there's a lot of hours of programming. Everyone's looking for off-season hours. They're looking to own dates that are not part of their regular schedule. You watch Roger Goodell do all this. The NFL draft is one of the biggest TV events of the year, and all the other leagues are doing is trying to emulate that and see if they can find a way to capture
but I
some
think
magic.
you're missing the point. The NFL draft is 3 days, but it's 3 days of full coverage. When a trade happens, the trade happens. The player isn't walking out with an Atlanta Falcons hat on, but he's really a New York Giant. In the NBA draft, the player is walking out with an Atlanta Hawks hat on, but he's really a Brooklyn Net. And it's just go on,
It's a
sorry.
collective bargaining issue, Matt. So you don't actually, when you get a draft pick, when you're drafting for another team, all the parentheses that you see where it would be Brooklyn, and then in parentheses on behalf of Atlanta or for Atlanta or is Atlanta's pick. That is all that happens. I don't know that anyone would consider this as big a deal as you are. But folks, you're getting great insight into Coca, where this is what you're focused
No, it is.
on.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal.
Why?
I'm not just the only person, because it's a TV product. You're selling a TV product. The draft, the only reason why the draft is on TV is because it's a TV product. It's for the fans. So it's just like, if you're going to put a TV product and you're going to want to have people watch 2 days worth of coverage, then make it make sense. Don't just do it because you're like, oh, we need ad time. We're trying to figure out ad time, or else nobody's, who's going to watch day 2?
So this is what you're upset about, with all the storylines around the draft, with the fact that the Brooklyn Nets drafted multiple guards. They had 5 picks in the first round.
David, you just gave us 10 minutes worth of coverage about an article that Mike Florio put out that maybe 10 people have read. We're talking about the NBA draft here. So it's just like, this is things that fans are actually concerned about. Nobody's concerned about the price a plumber has to pay, or what the salary is. But I can guarantee you that people are upset that they're trying to watch the NBA draft and they don't know where anybody is going to be drafted to.
So our audience would prefer that segment from hour 1 would have not been about collusion and about what actually happens with salaries for non-uniform players, and that instead we covered for 10 minutes the upset that you feel, which, by the way, we're doing now, the upset that you feel about people not wearing the right hat on stage.
I mean, listen, if you can pull up YouTube right now, we can get the comments going in real time in the chat, and we can sort of see, who's on whose side of this.
Everyone's always on your side. You're Coca.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So at some point, you should just come to the realization, like those plumbers in the pricing, that if I'm bringing something up because I'm so worked up about it, chances are that there are other people too who are equally as worked up. And it's just funny to me that this is like a huge media story, right? Where it's like, hey, why is the product not good enough for people to watch?
Wait, I'm sorry. Talk to me, Coca. There's a huge media story that players are wearing a different hat on stage?
Yeah, because this is what the product is. The product is the draft. So it's just like, if you're making things this confusing, and I can just find out on Twitter what the real story is, what's the point of anybody tuning into this draft?